So I'm here with Dino Dale and I'm going to learn all about dinosaurs because I should really learn all about dinosaurs. Thanks for having us, Dale.
Dan, you're very, very welcome. Welcome to the Gumtree Cottage.
The Gumtree Cottage. Well, a few questions first, Dale. So I was always really into dinosaurs when I was a kid. I collected dinosaur magazines and I had these dinosaur skeletons I used to build, but I've forgotten almost everything I used to know about dinosaurs. So a couple of questions first. We all are familiar with like T-Rex, and I would also know Stegosaurus and Brachiosaurus. Did they exist together at the same time and place?
Now, when we see the movies like Jurassic World and Jurassic Park, we get the impression that all these dinosaurs were around at the same time. That's not the case. Dinosaurs existed on Earth over a number of hundreds of millions of years, and they were in different time periods. The last of the dinosaurs, we believe, became extinct around 66 million years ago, but most of the dinosaurs, which we find and see, the exciting ones, I suppose, are from the Cretaceous period, and that's about 100 million years back. But then we have other periods where we go back even further into the Jurassic and alike, and different dinosaurs exist at different periods. So it's not always the case that the same dinosaurs we see in the movies are actually at the same time, and many of them existed in different parts of the world.
Okay, and another thing, I've never seen a dinosaur in real life, but I've heard that dinosaurs might have had feathers.
Now, we're starting to believe that dinosaurs evolved, particularly theropod dinosaurs, may have evolved into modern day birds. And if we look at things like this is a bone of a large flightless bird from Australia. This is a bone of an emu. Okay. Now, this emu, of course, has feathers, but if we look very closely at large flightless birds like emus and cassorees, we can see a very strong resemblance to what dinosaurs may have been.
Yeah, it looks very dinosaur-like.
It does. And for this, we're starting to change our theories to a lot of dinosaurs, that many dinosaurs may have been covered in a down to either keep them warm, if they lived in cooler climates, like some of the dinosaurs I might tell you about later on lived in very cool climates. And it may have been, like birds, they were colourful in order to attract a mate.
Yeah. Because I'm seeing now a T-Rex covered in all these feathers flapping around the place, looking like a sort of thing, but it's probably not like that. It's probably something a bit more subtle, maybe.
Well, you know, strangely enough, some of them might have actually looked very like chickens.
Okay, yeah. Because actually, myself and my wife keep chickens, and sometimes you hear this like, this sort of mad noise that's like a dinosaur. So I really do feel that there's some sort of connection there.
Well, it could have been that dinosaurs, in fact, just like the movies, we get the impression that maybe they roared like lions and tigers. It may have been more like the sounds which birds make in their calls. But it may have been that because they were much larger, that those oscillations were deeper. But it may have well been that dinosaurs actually sounded more like birds. And I've heard footage where we've slowed down the sound of birds, and it could well be that that's exactly what dinosaurs sounded like.
Okay, so if I was trying to, make friends with a dinosaur, hypothetically, maybe I could make some sort of bird noises, some sort of, try something like that.
Possibly you could try. Depends on the dinosaur, though.
Okay.
He might still think that you might be dinner.
Okay, well, thanks for that bit of info, Dale. But you know what I'm curious about? I'd like you to teach us a little bit about what we have here, because I see some really cool stuff that looks like it's from the dinosaur period. Maybe you can take us through some of us and tell us what we see here.
Absolutely, Dan. Now, I always like to start with plants, because plants are the basis of all life therefrom. And in Ireland, we see this plant quite a lot. This is called a monkey puzzle tree. Monkey puzzle trees are actually from Argentina and Chile. But their name is a bit of a misnomer, because there are no monkeys in Chile and Argentina to be puzzled by. In fact, the poor old monkey would probably be serrated to death by the monkey puzzle tree. The reason he's all spiky and tough like this is because these plants existed at the time of sauropod dinosaurs. And when they were just seedlings or small like this, to prevent them from being eaten, this is why they were so spiky. But you've got to be careful, because your hands get really cut up by them. Other plants from the time of the dinosaurs are plants like this one. This is a cycad. Cycads we normally find in really dry locations. Unlike Ireland, we find them in places like Africa and in Morocco, but this one I have to keep in a polytunnel over the winter so it doesn't get too wet. And another really cool plant, this one I really, really like. This is called the Wollemi pine. The Wollemi pine is what we call a living fossil. They are related to the monkey puzzle trees, and they were only discovered in the mid-1990s in a gorge to the west of Sydney. But what's cool about this plant is that it existed in a time where there were polar winters, and it has on the ends this thing called polar caps, and that's actually to protect the new growth from, if you like, cold and frost and snow, things we don't really associate with the times of dinosaurs. Something else exciting about this plant here is this one's got seed heads. We can see them there. That's really exciting because hopefully next year I'll have some baby Wollemi pines.
Wow, that's fascinating, Dale. It's really cool to see plants that were actually here at the time of the dinosaurs and to imagine them interacting with them, because of course we can't see the animals anymore. But what I'm really curious about is this stuff here, because like to my untrained eye, this looks like a fossil.
Dan, you're absolutely right. These are fossils. 99% of all the fossils we find are not from dinosaurs. They are marine creatures like this. This is an ammonite. Ammonites are mollusks which lived in the sea over 100 million years ago. And this is a trilobite, which is even older. Trilobites were between 400 million and 150 million years ago when they became extinct. So we find, most of the time, we find fossils of marine creatures rather than dinosaurs. But occasionally we can find dinosaur fossils in the form of footprints, like these here. These are a representation of something called the Lark Quarry dinosaur stampede. Now, this is a tooth. It's not a real tooth. This is a replica. This is a replica of a marine reptile called Kronosaurus queenslandicus, which is one of the largest marine reptiles to ever exist. And this is a claw. But we might be meeting a dinosaur which owned that claw later on.
Wow, thanks for that, Dale. That's fascinating to see all this stuff here. I'm learning loads about dinosaurs. Now, I hear you might have a couple of little dinosaurs we can meet ourselves here.
It's quite possible we can meet some dinosaurs in my own garden.
Okay, let's go have a look.
Let's do it.
Okay, who's this guy?
Dan, this is a wee little vegetarian dinosaur from
yes,
southern
vegetarian.
Australia called a Lailaniosaurus. Now, she was a polar dinosaur, and we believe that she would have lived her life at maybe 6 months of the year in darkness because she lived down below the South Pole. So she would have had really big eyes because she was nocturnal. But she's a parrot beak for eating vegetation, so she can't hurt you. In fact, she's very friendly.
That's great.
And if you give her a tickle under the chin, Dan, she really likes that, and she comes in for a big hug.
That's lovely. I like the vegetarian dinosaurs. I like the vegetarian dinosaurs. Good stuff. Nice to meet you. What did you say this type of dinosaur is called?
She's called a Lailaniosaurus. She was actually called after a little girl whose name was Lailania.
Okay.
And she's actually one of only 2 dinosaur species to have a feminine genital name. So not only is she a vegetarian dinosaur, but she's also a feminist dinosaur.
Good stuff.
What's not to love?
Yes, fantastic. Do we have anyone else we can meet?
Absolutely.
Wow, who's this cute little one?
This is baby Muttaburrasaurus. His mummy would have been the size of a double-decker bus, so he's only wee small. And what happens is that his mummy would normally be eating the leaves of tough plants like those monkey puzzle trees, and she'd chew them like this, and then she regurgitate them to feed it. So it's so Dan, you just got to pat a baby dinosaur which eats spew and vomit.
Oh, wow. Okay, I think that's nice. This one's lovely, but I think I prefer the previous one. And when would this dinosaur have lived?
Now, these dinosaurs existed about 100 million years ago in northern Australia in a place called Queensland, close to an area which is now called Muttaburra.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that makes perfect sense. So really cool. Let's meet one more dinosaur.
Absolutely.
Okay, hold on. Wait. This one looks familiar. This one looks familiar.
Dan, this is a juvenile Australovenata.
Australovenata.
Australovenata, or Great Southern Hunter.
Okay, this one looks scary. Now, this is a juvenile.
This is a juvenile, but see, the danger sign is there, and look what he did to my thumb when I was feeding him last night, Dan.
Okay. Right, so, okay. So, a full-sized adult one, would that eat me?
Well, Mummy has teeth like this, Dan, so I'd be really worried about Mummy.
Okay, and okay. Can I learn about this dinosaur? Maybe it would be good to learn about this dinosaur.
Absolutely. Now, this dinosaur was found in a couple of locations. They found bones in a place near Winton, and actually Winton, which is up in North Queensland.
Okay.
And actually, the bones were found in the same dig pit as a sauropod dinosaur. But they believe that the probability this dinosaur, the adult version, was too small to attack the sauropod, but maybe it came across the sauropod stuck in the mud, thought it'd get itself a free lunch, and then it got stuck as well.
Okay, stuck in the mud. Okay, interesting. Okay, so they're not completely invulnerable. I could.
All possible. Sure, you could maybe run through a ditch or run through a bog, and you might be able to escape.
Okay, wow. Okay. Well, thanks for introducing me to this one. Maybe you can lock this one away somewhere safe, and we'll move on. Right, no, we'll. All right. So Dale also tells me that this is the claw of the Australovenata. Australovenata. So that's her teeth, that's her claw, that's her baby. I think, oh my God, that's spiky. I think dinosaurs are pretty dangerous and pretty cool, and I'm glad I got to learn a lot about them today, Dale. So I'm gonna go hide in a bog, or I don't know, some swamp or something like that, and try and stay safe from the Australovenata. Thank you so much, Dale.
Stay safe, look after yourself.
I will.
See ya.
Bye-bye.